my name is Mrs. Andrea. Today we're going to discuss a comparison between 4 preschool calendars. Now, the reason we're doing this comparison is because a calendar in the preschool classroom, as well as a homeschool classroom, is very important because with the calendars, that's where we do our circle time. You'll notice a calendar behind me as we go forward in this video, and I'll be showing a few other things that I have in my little learning area here. But yes, calendars are important for our circle time. That is our main learning time of the day, and we want to use the best of the best. So stick around for the reviews. Okay, so the first calendar that we're going to be reviewing is the My First Daily Magnetic Activities calendar. Now, this particular calendar is totally magnetic, meaning the back of it is magnetic, where you can stick it on the refrigerator or dry erase board, as well as the pieces are magnetic and you can stick them all around the board. This particular calendar is intended for use with the child to kind of explore and learn on their own, not necessarily for a classroom setting. It is the smaller calendar of the other calendars that I'm going to be reviewing today. So it is intended, like I said, for a child to sit down on the floor or be at the refrigerator or the low sitting dry erase board and kind of play around with the magnetic pieces. It does have a dual use where you can have it on the wall or you can have it on the refrigerator, and it's a thick magnetic back which is strong and very secure, so it's not going to just slide and fall off for you there. Also, it encourages communication and reassuring expectation about the events of a child's life. So you'll get 3 years out of this calendar. When you get it, you'll get the current year, plus you'll get 2 years after that. So depending on when you get it in the current year, you'll get 3 years after that. So for example, you might get 2024, 2025, and 2026, 3 total years. One of the cons of this calendar in the reviews is that parents do not like the fact that the date is formatted in the way that it is. Of course, in the United States, we do month, date, year. However, the rest of the world does date, month, year. So that's how it's formatted. It's formatted date, month, year instead of month, date, year. So that's something to note about this particular calendar. Overall, it has great reviews. Overall, it has a lot of interest in it. About 18,000 reviews on this particular calendar. Selling very well on Amazon. And again, it's for $26.99. I've even seen it recently in a different form from Melissa and Doug for $19.99. So that particular calendar is a little different. It's like a 2-piece that you can hang. But please look at the description below and you'll see that calendar. On to the next. The next calendar I'm going to review is the Craft Story Preschool Classroom Calendar Circle Time Learning Center. That's a mouthful, right? So this particular calendar goes for $24.99 on Amazon. It's a felt calendar, so everything is a cloth-like material. Now, this is the largest of all of the calendars that I'm going to be reviewing, and it's mainly for a preschool classroom. If you have a homeschool, absolutely, but it's not your play run-of-the-mill calendar. This is a serious teaching calendar that sits at about 3.5 feet. So teachers probably will use it. You could have the children come up and place things on it at a low level. But this particular calendar has 93 pieces, a lot of pieces with it. Also, it has 4 years, unlike the magnetic calendar, which only has 3 years. So this one has 4 years. Also, with this particular calendar, you have the 3D digital printing. When you get this particular calendar, it is a little wrinkle. So what you're advised to do is either iron it on low heat or either hang it for 24 hours to get the wrinkles out. So if that's something that maybe you don't want to do, maybe go with something that's more of a solid material. Now, this particular calendar is recommended for kindergarten classrooms, like I said, homeschool classrooms, preschool classrooms, great for circle time, has all of the daily activities. It is formatted with month, date, year, which is a pro for those in the United States, right? Also, it comes with the little bears that you can dress and you can change their clothing. So if it's summer, you can put the bear on shorts. If it's winter, you can put the bear on a hat and gloves. So it teaches children how to dress for each season. This has more than enough activities on it, more than enough pieces come with it. So it's one of those calendars that really catches the eye. Definitely can't go wrong with this calendar. There was a review that mentioned that the felt pieces are not that sticky, but she said she learned to rub the pieces in and they stayed much better that way when you rub them into the fabric. So overall, it's a great calendar with just a few reviews. Surprisingly, I would think it would have many more reviews than it has, but the reviews that it has are all either 4 or 5-star. Well, there is a 3-star that says it's not very sticky, but overall I would say a good calendar. Definitely something you can try for yourself. Each little piece does come with like a Velcro attachment to make it stickier, if you will, but definitely try this one out. On to the next. So the next calendar I'm going to be reviewing is the Calendar and Weather Pocket Chart for Kids Learning Calendar. This particular calendar goes for $26.99 on Amazon. So this calendar has several pieces. It has 140 cards. It has 10 years. It has 12 months, 7 days, 31 dates, 8 seasons, on and on and on. It has special festival cards, special event cards, about 23 of each. So if there's a child's birthday, you can celebrate their birthday using these cards on that particular date. Also, end of the school year, 100th day of school, all of the holidays. It has cards for those, so you can put it in on the calendar, which I think is really neat. As you notice, I actually have this calendar sitting right behind me. So I'm a little biased to this calendar because I have used it firsthand, both in my pre-K classroom as well as at home, and it is an excellent, durable calendar. You cannot go wrong with this particular calendar. It has so many pieces that I have not used all of them, but I have used most of them, I will say, because they're all very useful. It just depends on the setting that you're in. Since I'm home, I'm not necessarily going to use the 100th day of school, but I would use the birthdays and the holidays, right? So that's the difference. Now, with this particular calendar, like I said, it has 10 years. 10 years. So that means this calendar is good for 10 years and even further, of course, if you don't care about the years. But as far as having the year to put here, it's good for 10 years. That's awesome. All right, now this particular calendar is rated for 3 years old and above. It is rather large, so you will need the wall space for it, or you can use one of the chart racks to hang it on, which it's actually built for. As you can see, if you can see here, it has 6 holes, and these holes will hang on a chart rack. So it is meant for that. When you have all of the pieces inside, it has a little weight to it, but it like I said, it's a rather large calendar. You can put it from floor on up, and it'll be the perfect height for a 3 to 4 year old child. Okay, this particular calendar is ideal for home and school, is what it actually says. Just going to some of the reviews here, it has quite a few reviews, not as much as I would think, but definitely quite a few reviews. There's reviews that say nice size, not for little hands. Actually, the little hands comment might be due to the fact that the pockets are tight. So when you're trying to put things in the pockets, children, of course, at that age, 3 to 4 years old, they don't have the fine motor skills that we have. So it may be difficult for them to accurately put these cards in the pocket without breaking the seams, because they're going to try to force it in, right? But it's easy for anyone that is older to put it in, but I could see what she was saying with that. Now this particular calendar as well, there's comments like worth the money, perfect for a 3-year-old, finally all the dates, and Juneteenth, best option out there. So a lot of positive comments, definitely. So on to the next. All right, so the next calendar I'm going to be reviewing is the eMay Classroom Monthly Calendar Pocket Chart with 71 cards. That goes for about $16.99 on Amazon. So this is our lowest price calendar in this review. Now this particular calendar is what I would call a simple calendar, or the most basic calendar of all the 4, because this particular calendar, it really lacks the bells and whistles of the others. This one just straight to the point, just what you need. You're gonna get your month, you're gonna get your year, you're gonna get your days of the week, and you're gonna get all of the numbers for the months. Now, one thing it does have that's a little whistle would be that it does have special days. So it has things like field trips, happy birthday, that you can insert into particular days. This particular calendar is lightweight. It can be placed on a pocket chart holder, so you can always put it on the pocket chart holder. It's smaller, about 24 inches high and 25 inches wide. You can also hang it on the wall. It has reinforced like stitching for each pocket, so pretty durable, pretty strong. This particular calendar carries 6 years, so you'll get the current year plus 5 years after that. So that's pretty good. You get 6 years use out of this calendar, and more if you don't care about the date. So this particular calendar, like I said, it's just your basic, great for in-home calendar. Great for preschool. It does have laminated cards. They're not super thick, but they're laminated, so they should be pretty durable, and you shouldn't have any problem out of that. It is a nylon material, so it's pretty sturdy in that regards as well. And I mean, it's all you need for a calendar. You really don't need much more unless you're just looking for more, but it is your basic need for a calendar, and at $16.99 you can't beat the price.
So in summary, you really can't go wrong with any one of these calendars. It's just really based on your personal preference and need. We had the First Daily Magnetic Calendar for $24.95, the Craft Story Preschool Classroom Calendar Circle Time for $24.99, the Calendar and Weather Pocket Chart for $26.99, and the eMay Classroom Monthly Calendar for $16.99.
I hope you enjoyed this review on the preschool calendars. All of these calendars, again, can be found on Amazon, and I'm going to put links in the description below for each calendar, and I'm going to outline them by name. You'll notice I'm going to place one as the magnetic calendar. That's our smaller calendar that I reviewed first. That is more of a personalized size used for children to learn on their own. And then I'm going to also mention the big calendar. The big calendar is that felt calendar that you just kind of stick pieces on with the teddy bears. That's our huge 3.5 feet felt calendar. And after that, I'm going to mention this calendar, which is our calendar for weather. So I'll mention that as calendar and weather. Also, but not last, we're going to mention the simple calendar. And the simple calendar is the last calendar I reviewed, and it is your more standard calendar where it has less of the bells and whistles, but just the days, right? So please look for those in the description below, and I thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.